Hello and welcome back. We're so glad you're here today. Come and join the Young Toddler group as we interact and play. My name is Tamika Reese, and I'll be your guide through these virtual visits. In this visit, we're going to go over the parent-child interaction. This week, we actually have a double visit, so that means there's going to be two parent-child interaction activities that we're going to do together. We also are going to talk about the develop-centered parenting, and then we're going to go over the family well-being. All right, let's get started. To begin our visit, we're going to go ahead and do the welcome song. And when we do the welcome song, it's to help our children get focused and centered at the activity that we're going to do, just to bring them in, to know that this is going to be our special time, that we're going to work together. So in the classroom, they also do this to kind of help everyone welcome, let them know what's going on when they start their circle time, after they're eating breakfast, just to get everyone together and in unity. So to our welcome song is going to be Hello. And so it goes, hello, 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 and how are you? I'm fine, and I hope that you are too. And then you're going to say, my name is Miss Tamika. So I'm going to say, Miss Tamika's here, Miss Tamika's here. Hello, and how are you? Now it would be, I'm fine, and I hope that you are too. And then we're going to go ahead and do this with everyone that's going to be in the visit. So you're going to do the child's name. You're going to say mommy's here, daddy's here, grandma, sister, brother, whomever is going to be there doing the activity with you, so that everyone is together, focused, and ready to do the activity. All right, so now we're going to move on to our read aloud. So remember, when you read to your child, you're going to discuss the parts of the book. So we talk about the front of the book, the spine of the book, and the back of the book. So the name of this book is Let's Go to the Firehouse. So it's a book about the firehouse. What do you see on the front of the book? So when you're talking to your child, talk about the different pictures and things that you see in the book. So maybe they can be like, "What is this?" And it's a dog. What kind of dog is it? It's a Dalmatian because it has black and white spots. And then the fire truck. What is the fire truck for? Things like that. Ask these type of questions so your child can respond to you. And it may not always be in dog, say this is a dog, but they might like woof woof. That means that you know that they are understanding, they're able to relate what the sound the dog makes to the actual picture of the dog. Okay, let's hear you. Welcome to the firehouse. There's so much to see and do. Then, like, if you have things like this, you can talk about the pictures. We have the fire truck, the Dalmatian, the water hose, the fireman hat, the firefighters, the water hydrant, and the little firefighter on the ladder. Dalmatian. I am a black and white dog that lives at the firehouse. I am a Dalmatian. Woof, woof. What is this? Alarm bell. My bell is called for help. Firefighter, it's time to go. Ring. I am an alarm bell. Fire pole. Firefighter used me to slide down to the fire truck. Watch out below. I am a fire pole. Uniform. I protect firefighters from the fire. Gear up. I am a uniform. Fire truck. I take firefighters all their adventures. Let's go now. I am a fire truck. Siren. Hear that sound and see that flashing? That's me. I tell people to get out of the way. Fire truck is coming. Whee! Whee! I am a siren. Fire hydrant. I have water that the firefighters need to put out the fire. I am a fire hydrant. Hose. I spray blast of water from the fire hydrant into the fire. Stand back. Shh. I am a fire hose. I'm a water hose. Rescue. Firefighters help people and animals too. Good job, firefighters. The end. I really hope you enjoyed that book. And as you can see how the book explained about all the different pictures and the things that the firefighters do to help keep us safe. So we're going to first move on to our first activity. So the name of our first activity is going to be Down the Chute. So in this activity, you're going to need several different things. So you can use like a wide paper tube or a milling tube, or if you don't have that, see how I have here, I made the tube out of construction paper. I just rolled it up to make it into a circle, a cylinder, and you can use just staples or tape to keep it together. So make your chute. And then you're going to need maybe like small balls, or you can use a homemade ball by just taking the paper and you can ball it up into a ball. As you know, we have provided you with like the balls like this. So when you make your tube, if you're going to make it, make sure that your ball can fit inside your tube. Or maybe another way you can do this activity. Remember we gave you the toys earlier this year. So I remember one of our toys that we gave out was what is this? The Rolly Pop. So you have this right here. Remember, you have this. So this is a good way for you to use what we've given you in order to do the activity. So what we're going to do, let's see, the safety tip. So the safety tip for this activity is be alert to choking hazards. A ball or a toy can fit through a paper tube. A paper towel tube is too small for your baby who is learning by mouthing objects. Use a larger tube and ball for this activity. So make sure that they're not able to stick it in the paper towel tube, because this will be easy. If it's small, then they'll be able to put it in their mouth, and you don't want to avoid all choking hazards. So when we're doing this activity, we're going to focus on our child's motor skills and their cognitive skills. So for motor skills, a baby eyes and hands work together to accurately place the ball into a round opening. Her large motor skills are working together to retrieve the ball. So those are the motor skills. So they're going to use those small motor skills to get it in the hole, and those big motor skills to go and get the ball as they go back and retrieve it. And then we're going to use our cognitive skills. So when your child is experimenting with the ball and the tube, your baby is learning how to observe the world as scientists do. This activity stimulates your baby's curiosity for learning. The repetition strengthens the connection with your child's brain and problem solving. So when your child is doing this activity, they're going to be figuring out how things work. So maybe they might not automatically put the ball into the tube. They might have to figure it out, moving their hand to see which way it's going to take for that ball to go inside of the tube. So to get started with the activity, you're going to sit on the floor together with your child. Show your baby how interesting the ball is to put inside the tube. Watch and see if your baby notices where the ball comes out. So with this one, as you can see, when you put the ball inside the tube, it's going to go down, and it's going to make several different passes through the different chutes. And then you're going to see how your child, if they're interested, how they're going to observe to see where the ball comes out. So this one actually has a little spot where the ball can stop. So it's going to keep it from rolling all over. But then when you use the chute, you're going to take it, you're going to put it in the ball on the thing, and the ball's going to come out on the other end. And you can make it roll as far or as wide as you want it to go, and maybe see how your child is going to interact to see if they're going to crawl over to the ball, run over to it, or they're just going to sit there and look and see and wait for you to go get it. So there's different reactions that your child may have when they're doing this activity. So encourage your child to chase after the ball or the toy and try to encourage them to bring it back to you. As your child learns the ball comes out, celebrate their discovery. So when the child is watching, like, oh, when it goes down into the different chutes, like with this one, you're like, oh, it's going down the blue tunnel. Well, look, it go around the yellow. And then you can celebrate once it gets all the way down to the bottom. And you're like, oh, yay, it came out. All right. And then encourage your child to do this activity again and again. And for your child doing this activity, it's going to depend on you and your enthusiasm and how you make the activity fun. So when you're doing this, make it a fun and exciting activity to be like, oh, wow, look what happened. What do you think is going to happen next? What color do you want to do next? So this is a good way for you to kind of encourage them to talk about the different colors of the ball. So we have red, blue, yellow. Or you can talk about, if we use these balls, maybe you can use these. Just have the different animals. So they have like an insect. This one has a ladybug. This one has a tiger. There's a bee and a monkey and a duck. And you're like, oh, which one are we going to do next? Where do you think it's going to go? So just use those encouraging words. Then you can talk about the positional words. You can talk about up. We're going to go put it up. Then it goes down. So those are different words, and using that different language to help build on your child's curiosity and motivating them to do the activity. So while the parenting behavior that you're going to display while doing this activity is supporting learning, you are helping your baby discover the wonder and experimenting. Your excitement and participation motivates your child to play longer and to learn more. So the more exciting that you do, the more you put into this activity, it's going to help your child be more curious, and maybe they can experiment on different ways to do this activity. So to extend this activity, maybe you can take it to the park. When you and your child go to the park, maybe you can bring a ball and roll it down the slide to experiment what it's going to do. Or maybe their cars or different toys or things, experiment how it's going to go down. Or maybe if you have like different building blocks, to where you can have on different levels to elevate the block up to make a ramp, and discover how the child is going to, how the ball or the object is going to go roll down the ramp, and just experiment and encourage that curiosity and that exploration. So that's for the first activity. So our second activity we're going to do is called Hat Head. So with this activity, you're going to need several different things. We've provided you with some different hats that different community workers wear in the neighborhood. If you don't have that, maybe you can use different hats that you have in your home that display different jobs and roles that people play. So if you want to use the ones that we've provided, in order for you to do it, you're going to need maybe some construction paper. Here I have a sentence strip, and I've placed the hats, glued them to talk about these different roles. Or maybe you can use a paper plate. If you have a paper plate, and then you can just cut it out, leaving the top part to where you can glue whichever role that child wants to play with the hat. So you're going to need that, and then you're going to need either a stuffed animal that's optional, or maybe some dress-up clothing. Maybe that's another way for you to extend the activity. So as you see, we read the book about firefighters, and we have our hat. We actually have a firefighter hat, and then we can talk about the different roles that firefighters play. So in this activity, we're going to focus on our child's language development. So your child will copy the sounds you make. What may sound like gibberish now might eventually lead to be putting two words together to make meanings later. So around the age 1 or 2, your child is starting to make believe. So using real objects, this was a sign that showed that your child is thinking is becoming more complex. By the time your child is 2, pretend play will be more fun and imaginative, and using their imagination and using props. So as you're doing this activity, the first step you're going to do is to place the hats in front of your child. Pick up a hat and put it on your head. You're going to say, oh, I'm going to put this on my head. Then you're going to describe what the person might say. I am a firefighter. As a firefighter, I help put out the fires. I go in at my water hose and I spray the fire with the water. Then you can let your child take a turn. Ask your child to choose a hat and pretend to be a person. Take turns picking up the hats and pretending. To extend the game, you might want to ask your child to identify the specific hat. Which hat does the firefighter wear? Which hat does the police officer wear? Or then we have here, we have a postal worker, so the mail carrier, and then we have a ball player. So these are different roles that people play in the community, and this is a way for you to help your child with that language development, giving them those different words. So mail carrier isn't a word that we use often, but then that's a way for you to extend it, and then maybe for you to extend this activity further, you can say, oh, we're going to go check the mailbox. Let's put on our mail carrier hat. So as we go to the mailbox, and that's extending that pretend play and also helping them understand the roles that people play in the community. So also when you're doing this activity, you're going to focus on your child's social and emotional development. Your child loves to imitate adults. By having many hats to choose from is a good, because your child loves to make their own decisions. So with you having the different hats, maybe using what's in your home also, it helps them make a decision on which one they want to play with. So as a parent, the parenting behavior that you're going to discuss is communicating. When you rely on your child's words or sounds with a lot of expression, you're having a conversation with your child, even if they aren't using those words yet. They might be a little gibberish or that back and forth babbling. It's still that conversation, that back and forth exchange, them being able to listen to you while you're talking, and them being able to respond when it's their time to talk, and you taking that time to listen to them. You're teaching them that the art of conversation. So this sets the rhyme and the pattern for verbal communication. It also shows that you are interested in what your child has to say, and it shows that they have a voice too, and what they have to say is important. So to extend this activity, to extend the play, you can pretend to play using props and maybe even scenes. Like I said, using that hat and then going outside to check your mailbox. That's another way for you to extend this activity. Or maybe you can use a spray bottle, and then you can, like when you're in the bathtub or something like that, oh, we're gonna fight a fire, let's see if we can fight this fire with this spray bottle, putting on your firefighter hat, and then we're gonna fight this fire, and you're using that spray bottle to spray that. Maybe you could put just a pretend fire, so you're pretending that it's a fire, and that's also helping your child with their social, emotional, and their imagination and their cognitive skills. So that's just the way that you can extend these two activities. I really hope you enjoyed them. And now we're going to move on to our develop-centered parenting. So for this week, we're going to talk about crafting beautiful speech and language. Arts and crafts are multi-sensory experiences that are ideal for language and learning. So research shows that experiences that engage your child's emotionally with familiar adults lead to a better learning. This experience should occur in a natural setting, such as during play or while shopping in the grocery store. Speech language pathologists often use arts and crafts to teach a variety of skills in therapy to create a naturalistic setting. Here are some tips of expiring language that you can use while you're doing crafting with your child. So when you're doing like things like maybe painting, or maybe just being outside, or going to the grocery store, talking about the different colors of the fruits and vegetables, just walking down the aisles, letting them help you pick out what type of maybe cereal they want to eat, or picking out the type of bread they want for their sandwich. So the first type of language that you can use is modeling. This type of modeling does not happen on a runway unless you're crafting something nice to wear, like a necklace, or painting a shirt. In this case, strutting your stuff. As adults, modeling is a type of language you would like to hear your child. So modeling what you want to hear from your child. When you're modeling language, it means that you are showing them what your expectations are of them. So if they give you something, just modeling, oh, thank you. I like when you gave me that. I asked you for it and you gave it to me. Thank you. So I'm helping them understand when someone does something for you that they like, or they're using the expectations that you have for them, you say thank you. So another way of of language that you can use is expand and extend. So listening to what your child is saying, and you can expand on their utterance by inserting an adult grammar. For example, if your child says cut paper, you can say, that's right, I'm cutting the paper. So when they might have used that two-word sentence, but then when you take what they're saying and expand on it and bringing more words to it and putting it in the proper form, that's expanding and extending their language. So I used to do this a lot with my daughters when they would be like, nope. And I was like, no, no, you're telling me no, no, you don't want to do that. So I'm giving them, well, that was like a modeling. I did modeling and expanding. What I modeled, I want them to use the word no. If they were like, I would say no. So, and then I would have them, they would repeat it back to me to help them understand how to use the proper language. Talking about the basics, that's the next thing you could do. So arts and crafts incorporate a ton of basic concepts such as colors, such as sizes, such as shapes. While creating a masterpiece, make sure you request and comment the activity you're using to build early blocks of language. So when you're doing different arts and crafts with your child, you could talk about the different things that you see them doing or the different things that they're using while they're creating these things. So the colors, the shapes, the sizes of what they're doing. Also, another way to help use speech and language while you're crafting is following directions. Try to create a project where that is step by step. Early learning language avoids incorporating too many directions at once overcomplicating the directions, making them too wordy. Use visual aids such as videos or pictures and suggestions to help your child as you're doing it. You can also use hand over hand modeling and repetition of verbal directions. And then another thing that you can use and help to develop their language while you're doing crafting is verbs, verbs, verbs. Creating activities that are loaded with verbs, action words such as cut, tape, tear, color. These are things that you're helping them understand. A verb is an action word. So when you're doing these things, you're helping them understand how to relating a word to its action. So when I say cut the paper, so we're going to cut, 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 cut. So while they're cutting, using the scissors, and you can see I'm cutting the paper. I'm cutting, cut, cut, cut. So you're using those verbs, and it's also helping them understand the action to the word. So they're watching your action as you're saying the word. So these are just some things that you could do to help your child build their language while you are doing different activities. So this one was just kind of like talking about crafting, but these are things you can do in the grocery store. Like, we are walking, let's walk, walk, walk. So that's another way for you can like use verbs, and then while you're actually doing things in a natural setting. So it's very important for you to have that constant communication, that constant talking, that constant just giving them the words, helping them understand, because the more words your child hear, it's the more likely for them to be able to verbally express themselves. So now we're going to move on to our family well-being. So the title of this family well-being is Free Time Pays Off. People often People have known for hundreds of years that we function best when we have free time. Our body and brains need recreation to relax and recover from daily activity. So this is kind of like sometimes we get so busy in the hustle and bustle of life that we need to make sure that we take time to just have time for us to relax and breathe and just have a moment for our time to just help our bodies rest and recuperate. We all enjoy free time differently. For some, the opportunity is just sitting and watching a movie. For others, they rather swim or enjoy nature, going to a concert, reading a book, taking a nap, or even playing sports. What you do isn't as important as doing it together. So this is just enjoying that free time with your family, just making it important to have those moments together, just that free, relaxing, not that stressful, just enjoying each other. Why do you do it? Isn't as okay. Outdoors or indoors recreation builds a connection between family members. So you could do this in nature, it could be the museum, at the library, and library books alike can expose your children to new ideas to make them curious and more to learn, curious about learning. So going to familiar places can be fun for your child, but it benefits your child from exploring new places. Many communities offer low-cost, family-friendly options such as outdoor concerts. One place where you can go now, they've started their outdoor activities is the Miller Outdoor Theater. I want to say last weekend was their first weekend that they opened up, and they have many different activities that they can either be ticketed or that you just go online to get the tickets, and then you also can go to the theater, and then they have this big huge hill. They have everything sectioned off in pods so that you have your square that you and your family will be in, and then it's separated from the other people, and it's free. It's 100% free. So I know this weekend they're going to do the Houston Ballet is going to be there, but if you check on their website, it has a calendar of all the different events that they're going to have. Another thing you can do to help talk about culture or heritage festivals, so you can look that up online and find different festivals that are in your area, or maybe like an animal exhibit or the zoo. It's not free, but if you have food stamps or one, I believe, or WIC, you can go and at a discounted rate. You just have to go online to reserve your tickets. So those are just some things that you can do that are free. Things like going to the park. Different places have different workshops. So places like Michael's, they have different crafting workshops that you can actually go and sign up for. You have to look online and be creative. These are different things that you can do with you and your child to help you enjoy some free time and just enjoy that togetherness time. So when we relax, we let our minds wander. They don't turn off. Instead, they do background tasks like working through problems, sorting out information, and musing on the future. Even short breaks can give refreshingness, so it can help refreshing you. For example, a 10-minute nap may improve your concentration or mental performance. So just remember to take that time out. I know we get so busy with everything that's going on, just trying to make sure everything's clean, sanitized. We have our older kids going out to the school, or making sure that when we go out that our children are keeping themselves safe. But just remember to take out that time to just breathe, relax, and just kind of just enjoy life. I know things have changed a lot during these times, but remember, just take those moments that we really just observe and reflect on what we have and how blessed we are, and just enjoy life. And so that's about it. So I just want to thank you for being here and watching this video with me. Just remember that we're going to have our parent meeting this Friday on September 14th at 9 a.m. And also remember that right now we're going to start taking applications beginning May 12th. So if you know anyone who's interested in this program that might benefit from them having the home visitor coming in, talking about the child development, helping them get developmentally on target, talking about the different milestones that they have with their child, just let them know, and then you can let your home visitor know so that they can reach out so that we can begin doing the applications. I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a great week.